And then, of course, what the heck? Dancing with the Stars? After all this, we got the Jordans, we got the cars, and we got the watches, and we're racing, and we're commentating, and clothing lines, and Hinchtown. And where did this fall from? Seriously.
Oh man, it fell from the sky. It was actually the story I got told. So IndyCar is always kind of looking for opportunities for their drivers to kind of get out there outside of the sporting world and kind of draw some more attention to the sport, right? And believe it or not, the woman that organized that, it sort of looks for these opportunities for all the drivers in the series, she had organized for one of the producers of Dancing with the Stars to come, because they were personal friends, to come and watch the taping of Family Feud. And it's like, hey, we got 5 of our drivers there. Come check out, see if any of them you want for the show. So she came and she was like, hey, who's this guy? So they called me up and they're like, hey, would you have any interest in this? And I said, absolutely not. And they said, well, hey, how about you come to a taping of to a live show? Because they were heading into a season at that moment. And we had a race in LA, in Long Beach, while they were filming. So stay an extra day, come see the show, see what you think. Fine. So I went and saw the show. And I was like, yeah, it's okay, I guess. And then left. And this was in April, just didn't hear anything else about it. So I guess they figured, I was interested, they lost interest, whatever. And then that August, I got a phone call on a race weekend and they said, hey, James, Dancing with the Stars here. We want you on the show. We need you to move to LA for 3 months and you're going to ballroom dance in front of 12 million people live on TV every Monday night. And I said, hey, Dancing with the Stars. No, click. And it was actually, it was another driver had actually been on the show 10 years prior. Okay. And so I chatted to him about it on the weekend. He was like, dude, you got to do it. It's just something you got to do it. And I am in this mindset, especially after my accident in 15, I had this new kind of lease on life. I was like, you know what? Take risks, get outside your comfort zone, whatever. So I called him up and said, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Before going to Dancing with Stars, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being me horrible and 10 being amazing, Michael Jackson style dancing, where would you have rated yourself?
-1.
-1?
Yeah. I think the YMCA was about the most I'd ever choreographed a dance in my life.
I'm not going to say this is a racist thing, but it's true. I call it the white man shuffle, where we keep our arms to our sides and we're just
he's kind of stay up. That's
shuffle,
it. Maybe the odd one of these if the beat's going, but that was as far as my dancing was. Yeah.
Me too. So I don't know about you, man. You pay me $1 million to do that. I'll do it, but I don't think I can do it. How the heck? And you finished second. What happened?
Competitive, man. It's that same theme, the first, so the whole start of it was just terrifying, right? I have no experience in anything like this, so far outside your comfort zone. And then we got to the first show, and the first show was terrifying because you're doing it live. You can't, it's not like rehearsal. You can't screw up and start again. It's live on television. There's people, there's an audience there that's never been there before. You're doing it in front of people other than just your partner, basically, for the first time. And I just wanted to survive. I just wanted to not fall down, right? That was my only goal for that show. And at the end of it, I kind of black out. And at the end of it, I'm standing, people are cheering. So I figure it must have gone well. So then, how they give you the little numbers, right? 5, 6, 8, whatever your scores. I always thought that those were just references for the people at home to have a professional tell you how you thought they did, because it's a fan voting show, right? That's how it works.
Yes.
Well, I didn't read the rules before I went on the show. Evidently, those scores are real scores, and it's that in some formula with that and your votes. That's how they decide who moves on. So all of a sudden, I thought it went from a popularity contest, and I was like, oh. So I have some say in this. I have some control over how my scores are, and that affects my performance. And then that competitive switch just got flipped in my brain. And I looked at my partner and I was like, what time do we start practice tomorrow? And I got to the second place because I just worked my butt off. It was 8 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3 straight months. And it was it's that athlete mentality, right? We're wired to push ourselves to go harder. We're used to criticism. We're used to coaching. And so I think athletes inherently do really well on that show. and like athletes finished first, second, and third the season I was on it, and that's what I think is a big part of it.
So let me ask you now, if you get the phone ringing, people seeing your experience on these shows, American Idol.
No,
Yeah.
God, no. You can't teach that. You can't teach this.
Survivor.
Yeah, I would do Survivor.
Okay. Temptation Island.
No.
Sorry, Rebecca. Big Brother.
No.
Then I got the one for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Imagine this: race car driver and his lawyer. Big Brother, not Big Brother. Sorry.
Amazing Race.
We got to do Amazing Race. Imagine the two of us in our Jordans and our watches.
I would do it.
Okay, so Amazing Race. You watching this?
I almost did it.
Really?
I almost did it.
Yes.
So two IndyCar drivers were on it a few years ago, and I was supposed to be one of them. Went through the whole like audition process, I guess, or whatever. They had selected us, this, that, and the other. And they even had to make some concessions because being Canadian, it complicates things with passports and stuff like that. But they got through all that. And this is a true story. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this part, but so it had to go through like 4 different levels. And every level we got the call like, yeah, okay, you're on to the next level, next level, next level. And the final level was being approved by like the top brass at whatever network it was, CBS, I think. And they looked at me and they're like, well, hang on, this was the guy that was on Dancing with the Stars, right? And they're like, yeah. And they go, well, that's an ABC property, so we don't want ABC's sloppy seconds, so kick him off. So they kicked me off, replaced me with a different driver. And we were like, but I've got this group of people that follow and know me solely from that we can bring over to this show. We'll follow because of that. They're like, no. So I almost went and I didn't get to do it.
Well, there is a Canadian Amazing Race.
There is.
Maybe we can do that. The only thing I know how to ride a motorcycle. I don't know how to drive standard, so I'm gonna have to ask you to teach me that one. And if you can't teach me to drive standard, I don't think anybody can. So
I can, I promise.
Okay, so they're watching this. You know what? Amazing Race Canada. You got your candidates right here. Let's
Here we
make
go.
it bearded action. Let's make it happen.
Thank you for enjoying today's episode of the Chosen Life podcast. Go ahead and hit the subscription button below and the notification bell to catch all of our great shows. And remember to contact the Chosen Lawyers when you are ready for your next real estate and commercial transaction. Go to kormans.ca.